Hi, my name is Anna, and today is 10/21/2022, and it is the first of hopefully many video recordings that I'm planning to do in the days leading up to and after my surgery. I am a transgender woman, with a little bit of non-binary in me. I am the co-host of the Transgender, and I have a passion for advocacy. If I'm being honest, I think a lot of you who are watching this already know who I am and what I do. But to those who don't, please, look at the Transgender. Listen to what I've done, because I think that it's really important to know that there are people out here like me, and that if you are somebody who, like me, wants to help people, wants to advocate for people, you can do it too, and there's a platform for you. I am exhausted. Today has been a very long day. It is currently 8 p.m. I woke up at 4 a.m. With very little sleep last night to drive down to Rochester, Minnesota from Duluth, Minnesota. It's about a 4.5, 5-hour drive, and it is quite the journey. I drove the entire way. I had my partner Andre with me, and you can see my cat in the background. We had fun. We did trivia, we listened to music, we sang together, we did weird things like meow at each other, but in total it was about 10 hours of driving, which is a lot of time to be sitting and to be driving, and so I am utterly exhausted. On top of that, I had about 8 hours worth of appointments today, the first of which was pretty good. I met with my endocrinology team. They gave me some advice on what to do about my hormones and everything, and kind of just did a check-in. Then they, talked about kind of my history and what to do from where I'm at and everything like that, and it was really good. I went on to see. I went on to get my heart checked through an echocardiogram. Had my blood drawn. It was a lot of blood that they had to draw. In total, I think they drew about 9 vials, which is a lot of blood. But it's worth it. And I ended today with a very challenging appointment. I met with the surgeon, and I was extremely stressed about this appointment regardless, but I was supposed to have an appointment at 1. I arrived there at 12:50, and while I was waiting, we got a call from from the surgeon's nurse, and she said that they were still in the operating room, so it would be a bit longer. So Andre, my partner, and I waited until around 2, and then we were called back into the exam room where really I just was told to strip down to nothing on my waist and to put on a robe, and that the surgeon would be in to do a quick examination and double check everything, and make sure that we were all good to go. I did as I was instructed and sat there feeling very exposed for 45 minutes. Andre was sitting next to me, and it was nice to know that I had that comfort there, but it took a very long time. And when the doctor did come in, he had a lot of thoughts, and not all of them were great, and not all of them were kindly worded. Um, it'd been a busy day in the OR. He really hadn't had a lot of time for a break, and I understand that, but, in medicine you really have to watch your bedside manner, and his was not great today. And that was really challenging for me because I was already stressed. And basically what he said to me was, your BMI is right on limit, and you have a lot of risk for complications. And the way he made it sound was that he wasn't going to operate. He had said, well, weren't you supposed to work on your BMI? Weren't you supposed to try and lose weight? And I was trying, I was trying as hard as I could. I was trying to exercise. I was trying to eat healthy, but honestly, I'm living with two people on a single income that is not great, and honestly has been very spotty. I recently lost my job because of my new diagnosis of fibromyalgia, which causes a lot of bad pain flare-ups. And so right now I am doing this professionally. This is my job, is talking and speaking my truth and advocating for people. And it's what I want to be doing. It's my dream job. But where I'm at right now, it doesn't pay the bills, and it doesn't buy food, and it doesn't, offer the stability that a normal job would give me. And so I don't have the means to go out and get fresh vegetables. I don't have the means to, go and exercise at the gym. Not that you need a gym to exercise, but, I don't have the means to do the things that they really expect me to do, because I am, I am very poor, and honestly I've been on the brink of homelessness quite a lot now, and recently, and I'm making it work, because that's what I do, and I fight, but it has been quite the journey. And so hearing him say that he was concerned about my weight and concerned about my BMI was really hard, because I've been putting in the work, and I've been trying to make sure that what I'm eating is fine. It's not great. I will be the first to admit, it's not great, but it is what I have, and it's food. He really was obsessed about that, about my weight, and I'm a person who is not super happy about my weight, but a lot of my weight comes from my muscle mass. I do have a tummy, but the majority of my weight comes from the muscle mass that I have, and it's kind of transitioning into fat, especially with the estrogen and not being able to do as much from the fibromyalgia. So it's really hard to, hear that, especially with everything that I've been trying to put in. He, at that point, basically threw the ball into my court and was like, well, I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to perform the procedure. But he sounded very much like, you're kind of a fool if you try and do this, and was just being kind of an asshole about the whole thing. And I told him, I said, I'm getting the surgery. And it was really hard because I was extremely vulnerable in that position. He basically was telling me all of this while I had my legs spread, bare just about everything exposed. And that was a very difficult situation, but I've been through worse. There is a very small but non-zero chance that a complication may arise that will cost me my life. And I am recording these, hopefully multiple, as a way to document my journey leading up to this and telling you all that it is a risky procedure, but it's also life-changing and life-saving. He told me today that this was an elective surgery and that, oh, well, blah, 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 like, you know, you're right on the edge and I wouldn't perform this and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, because it's an elective surgery. And to him specifically, and anybody else who says, oh, well, getting gender reassignment surgery is elective and blah, blah, whatever, you're dead fucking wrong. Getting gender reassignment surgery for trans people who want it is life-saving. The thought of him not performing made me know that if he said that he wasn't going to perform on me, that I would be spending the night in the hospital. Probably a lot longer. This isn't something to be taken lightly. And neither is the mental health of myself. Really hard for me to put myself out there all the time, but this is really a moment where I'm being really real and really upfront with you all, like I normally am, and saying I don't want to be in the hospital. I don't want to go back to one of the most traumatic experiences I can remember. I don't want to suffer like I have, and I don't want to become another statistic. And if risking my life getting a surgery that has a small percentage of fatalities and a very high percentage of good outcomes for people, I'm willing to do that. I think a lot of his whole deal was he's a plastic surgeon and he's used to people wanting things to look good and, you know, whatever. To me, I don't really care how it looks. I want the most dysphoric part of my body gone. And if I'm being honest, I want utility. I want to know what it's like to experience sensations from the perspective of a cis woman, or at least as close as I can get to that. And I'm not super open about talking about sex typically, because I know some kiddos do listen to my show, and but it is something that I wanted to experience, and it's something that I have honestly been looking forward to really experiencing. I know the risks. I am a medical provider. I have performed life-saving care. I've brought people back to life from death. And I know that it's Mayo Clinic, right? You know, they're gonna do everything they can to try and save me. But they also see hundreds of deaths a day. And I am okay accepting that risk. Just like I'm okay accepting all the risks I take in my life. I drive a car, for example, and that causes thousands and thousands and thousands of fatalities a year. And I've been to a couple of those. I don't know, I exist and I do, we all engage in risky behaviors every day, and this is just another one. Except this isn't a risky behavior that I'm taking lightly. And neither should any of you. This is a risky behavior that has taken literal years of fighting to get to, and it's really upsetting that I still have to fight today and will continue to have to fight to just be valid and to just have this procedure done. I am looking at a screen, I'm looking at you guys, and I'm seeing myself, and you know, this is me after a day of really hard work. My eyebrows are all fucked up. I'm whited out from the camera here. I might adjust that a little bit. That didn't fix it at all. But I want to be true to you guys, and I want to show you that, like, I'm not infallible, and I'm not the perfect being, and neither is anybody else. And this procedure will save my life. I guarantee you. I've been on the brink of suicide too many times in my life. And one of those was because of my gender dysphoria. I also want to just quick apologize. I don't have any written notes, and so this is me rambling and talking, and I'm super sorry if it is hard to listen to. I won't lie, I'm very scared today. But I'm also really excited. And to all of you, my supporters, the people who love me, anybody who has made it these however many minutes into this video, thank you for your support, and thank you for doing what you all do. It means the world to me, and I hope to do more of these, and I hope to see you after surgery. But if this is the last one, if I don't do another one and I don't see you all after surgery, then know that I'm going out on terms that I'm okay with, and take my death as a call to action to all of you to use your voices and to stand up and vocalize about things that you care about. Start a podcast with your dad, and talk about things, and maybe you will develop an audience like I have, and it's needed. The work that I do because I love it, but I also do it because I know you guys love it too. I'm probably going to release these as raw, unedited footage, and so you can see me really struggling today. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here, but hopefully I'll see you soon, and thank you all so much for all of your help. I love you all, except the big